you mentioned the game last night. Phoenix upset by the New Orleans Pelicans. And game one was a good game. Chris Paul had to pull out some heroics in the fourth quarter for the Suns to win that one. And so New Orleans making this thing, a nice little series. But the big news, of course, I don't think anybody expects New Orleans to win this series even now. But, maybe they certainly got a better chance now. Devin Booker, who had 31 points in the first half, Rob, he pulled up lame late in the third quarter, about 4.5 minutes left, with a right hamstring strain.
And he was scoreless in the third quarter, right? I mean, he didn't have any points, right?
Right. He had 31 in the first half, none in the third quarter. And, Rob, when he left the game, New Orleans was up 77-74. So it wasn't just Devin Booker's absence that enabled the Pelicans to be in that game and be close. They were close and leading, in fact, when he left. But the news today after the MRI is that looks like he's going to be out for games 3 and 4. And I think, Rob, the Suns' plan, their hope, their ideal scenario would be that they win this series without Devin Booker. Like if they can go up 3-1 and let Booker rest, and then you're really feeling like, okay, we don't have to bring him back for this series. We get him as much rest as possible. And then in the second round, where they will face Dallas, presumably with Luka Doncic, or Utah. I think it'll be Dallas if Doncic can play, and he may be back for game 3. They're going to need Booker for that round. In fact, Rob, they've been my pick the last few months to win it all. But if Devin Booker isn't able to play freely and at the top of his game, they won't win the West. They won't win the West.
I got a better one for you. I don't think they'll win the West now because this is a big, even though it's not a serious injury, Chris, it's a lingering one that doesn't go away and doesn't get better in enough time for him to be great, be back at his level. We saw it last year. Remember, they were up 2-0 in the finals, and they could get by. They got by without Chris Paul in that Lakers series, Chris, a couple of games.
The Clippers, they went 2-0 without Chris Paul the first
right, at home, and that right, and in that scenario. But I don't think you could a half-baked Devin Booker is not good for the Suns. They need a sun-drenched, a fully heat warmed up Devin Booker from the son of the Phoenix of the Valley and the son of Arizona.
What?
I don't know. I'm just talking. but
I agree with you on that, though.
No, I really think that this could derail everything that they've done because, Chris, it's not only missing games 3 and 4. How is he going to be effective? Is he going to be gingerly on it? Could he re-injure it? Could he make it worse playing in the first round, against the Pelicans? And now that the Pelicans are going home and they got the split, Chris, this could be a 7-game series. I'm just throwing it out. You know what I mean?
Do you think – I still think they beat the Pelicans without him. What do you think?
Probably, but I'm saying it could be a longer series.
Right.
Whereas it could have been quick work, right? If they win the first 2 games, they might sweep the Pelicans, go to New Orleans, or beat them in 5 games. Now I'm not sure. If you're the Pelicans, you feel like, wow, we're in this.
Oh, the Pelicans are feeling good.
I don't know how you couldn't.
Rob, and I'm going to say this. I'm very confident the Suns, with or without Booker, will beat the Pelicans. But they need an attitude adjustment. They have got to understand now, and this is regardless of Devin Booker's situation, they have to understand they're the hunted right now. And that's a different animal when you are the hunted versus the hunter. Ever since this run, the past couple of years, when it started when they went 8-0 in the bubble under Monty Williams, and then last year they won 51 games. They run to the NBA Finals. This year, they run to 64 wins, the best record in the league. All that time, Rob, they were the hunter. Because nobody, they're nice. They're a nice little team. You know, Chris Paul's playing well for an old guy, and Booker's great. He's not Kevin Durant or something like that, but he's great. You know, they were the hunter. Now, because they had the best record in the league by far, because there's really no other team that's looked terrific, certainly in the West, other than them, they are the hunted. And I'm going to tell you, Rob, I haven't liked the mentality that I've seen in these first two games.
Because what do you mean?
Feel like, well, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
To me, they look like they've come out here like they thought they're looking this before Booker got hurt. They to me look like they were pointing toward the championship, pointing toward the conference finals, not taking care of the task at hand, right? They're looking forward to what do we have to do? We got to get to the finals. We got to win it all instead of taking it one day at a time, one step at a time. And here's why I say that, Rob. They went out there in game one and punched New Orleans in the face in the first half. Big lead, 19 points at halftime. Since then, Rob, the last 6 quarters of this series, New Orleans has outscored Phoenix by 19 points.
Now,
and 5 of those quarters were with Devin Booker. So it's not just Booker.
Because you had your guy, right.
Again, I'm not saying they were going to lose. I'm just saying their attitude is also a problem, at least so far. It'll probably change now because they know they got to step it up without Booker.
Oh, big time. If they don't, they could be in trouble. You go there, Chris, to New Orleans and not be ready for what you're about to, you know what I mean? Like not be ready, and all of a sudden you're down in the series 2-1, and Booker's not playing game 4.
Then you're up against it. You're right.
Right. So it's huge. I don't know. I just think that it's going to be a bugaboo for them, Chris, the rest of the way. And we always talk about this. We're not wishing anything on anybody. I want everybody to be healthy.
I keep telling you, right? Absolutely.
But this is one of those things you just don't know. And if he re-injures it or it gets worse, what will this team be? And as I said, if this was Chris Paul or somebody else, could they overcome it? I think so. Can they really overcome an injury and not having Devin Booker be Devin Booker? I don't think so.
Well, I think if we're talking about winning the West, Rob, I think without any of their big three, Chris,
they can't win the West.
Devin, I just think it's a tough task, especially if Golden State is what they're looking like right now. And I get it. They're playing Denver that's banged up and not a terrific team itself.
I got my pick in the West now, and you're going to be
Golden
shocked.
State?
No.
Oh, let me guess. All right. So I know you'd love to pick the Clippers, but obviously they're out. You would.
Pick.
Well, you're not. So if you're not picking Golden State, you pick. I don't think you're going with the young boys, Memphis.
Yeah.
Hold on. Weren't you poo-pooing? Antoine Walker and who was the other former NBA player? Was it Kerry Kittles?
Yes, Kerry Kittles.
Weren't you poo-pooing them?
I was poo-pooing them, Chris, and now I look, and I'm looking only because the Suns are wounded. And the other thing I saw was the way that they came. They responded the way I thought they would, Chris, and that showed me a little something. Like they could have been down. They had this great regular season. They got punched in the mouth. They could have been timid. They came out, and they showed me like, no, we're going to we're not going to just win or squeak by and say we don't care what the score is as long as we win. They wanted to send a message last night, and they did. Like we know that you had our number. This is a matchup problem, Chris, and they haven't won any game by 30 points against this team in this matchup. I was impressed by that, and maybe I'm overlooking it. Maybe the T-Wolves were fat and sassy because they won their
team, right?
Yep.
They don't know how to handle
I'm gonna throw that out there, Chris, because I'm not naive. That they did what they wanted to do and got fat and sassy. You know what I mean? Like we got the split, so we're good. And I just like the way that they went at it yesterday, and I think I'm going to pick Memphis.
I'll give you this, Rob.
Yes.
I'll give you this. Because if it's not Phoenix, then I'm going with Golden State, right? Memphis is a tough matchup for Golden State. They beat them last year in the playoffs. I not get Golden State's different now, but they're a tough matchup. They're a tough matchup for any older group,
Right?
You know,
So
because they're so youthful and energetic and all that athletic, and they don't know any better, right? They're not intimidated by anybody. They don't know any better. And so I'll give you that. But if it's not going to be Phoenix, I got Golden State, which is kind of reminded me of the older dynastic Golden State. But all right, you made your pick. So you got Memphis and Milwaukee in the final.
No, I picked the Nets. I never switched.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't know what am I thinking. Oh, so you got the Nets beating Memphis?
Yep.
Okay.
That's
All
what I
right.
got.